This is KRT, Critical Race Theory. It's not the one they teach in law school, but the one banned in public schools. Lemuel Augustus Penn was the Assistant Superintendent of Washington, D.C. public schools. He was also a decorated veteran of World War II and a lieutenant colonel in the United States Army Reserve. While returning home after reserve training at Fort Benning, Georgia, the trip came to a tragic end. I'll tell you about it coming up. But first, I want to thank my sponsor, Tom Slick. Thank you, Tom. Lemuel Penn joined the Army Reserve from Howard University and served as an officer in World War II in New Guinea and the Philippines, earning a Bronze Star. He had been an assistant administrator for the public schools in Washington, D.C. At the time, he was the father of 2 daughters and 1 son, Linda, 13, Sharon, 11, and Lemuel Jr., 5. In the 1940s, Penn had worked for Gunnar Myrdal on the landmark study of race relations, An American Dilemma, and is cited in that book's acknowledgments. On the night of July 11th, 1964, Lemuel Penn was driving home together with 2 other Black Reserve officers. He was headed to Washington, D.C. from Fort Benning, Georgia. They were returning from their annual summer training camp. Their Chevrolet Biscayne was spotted by 3 white members of the United Klans of America. They were Lackey, Cecil Myers, and Joseph Howard Sims, who noted its D.C. license plates. Sims then said, "That must be one of President Johnson's boys." The group followed the car with their Chevy 2, with Sims saying, "I'm gonna kill me a nigger." The shooting occurred on Broad River Bridge on Georgia State Route 172 in Madison County, Georgia, near Colbert, 22 miles north of the city of Athens. Just before the highway reached the Broad River, the Klansman's Chevy 2 pulled alongside Penn's Biscayne. Cecil Myers raised a shotgun and fired from the back seat. Then Howard Sims did the same. Penn was killed instantly. Authorities quickly identified Myers, Sims, and Lackey as those responsible. Federal prosecutors eventually charged both for violating Penn's civil rights under the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which was passed just 9 days before Penn's murder. On June 27, 1966, criminal charges began against Sims, Myers, Lackey, and 3 other Klansmen, Herbert Guest, Denver Phillips, and George Hampton Turner. 2 weeks later, Sims and Myers were found guilty of conspiracy charges by a federal district court jury. Their 4 co-defendants, however, were acquitted. Sims and Myers were each sentenced to 10 years in prison, then the statutory maximum on the civil rights charges. They served about 6 years. Howard Sims was killed by Edward U. Skinner, a flea market owner, with a shotgun during an argument on June 1, 1981, at the age of 58. James Lackey died at age 66 in 2002. Cecil Myers died in 2018 at the age of 79. A historical marker was erected by the Georgia Historical Society, the Lemuel Penn Memorial Committee, and Colbert Grove Baptist Church at Georgia Highway 172 and Broad River Bridge on the Madison-Elbert County border states. Penn's murder was the basis of the Supreme Court case United States v. Guest, in which the court affirmed the ability of the government to apply criminal charges to private conspirators who, with assistance from a state official, deprive a person of rights secured by the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution. So you have 3 African-American U.S. Army officers who helped defeat Hitler's Germany, Hirohito's Japan, and Mussolini's Italy. They are back home after serving overseas, driving home from reserve training, and are killed just for being black. This reminds me of a poem by Langston Hughes.
Langston Hughes, Beaumont to Detroit, 1943. Looky here, America, what you done. Let things drift until the riots come. Now your policemen let your mobs run free. I reckon you don't care nothing about me. You tell me that Hitler is a mighty bad man. I guess he took lessons from the Ku Klux Klan. You tell me Mussolini's got an evil heart. Well, it must have been in Beaumont that he had his start. 'Cause everything that Hitler and Mussolini do, Negroes get the same treatment from you. You Jim Crow'd me before Hitler rose to power, and you're still Jim Crowing me right now, this very hour. Yet you say we're fighting for democracy. Then why don't democracy include me? I ask you this question 'cause I want to know how long I got to fight both Hitler and Jim Crow.
This has been Critical Race Theory. Please like and subscribe, leave a super thanks or buy me a coffee, and share this video with your friends and family. I'll see you next time.